It's irritating. I don't know what I'm going to do.
And so it begins. A large section of eastbound I-696 in Oakland County is shut down for 2 years. Those stories and more right now.
This is The Edge.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Straight out of a wildlife book, a giraffe is spotted in Macomb County.
It's not at a zoo, and they're not filming another sequel of The Hangover in Metro Detroit. This is very interesting, but Fox News' Jessica Dupnack on the case to get to the bottom of this, what's now become a viral story.
You don't need me to tell you that social media is a really weird place. In the latest installment of Things Gone Viral, a picture of a giraffe in the back of a truck. Turns out it was precisely what it looked like.
Really can get a scope of how
big they are.
At 5'0", I'm dwarfed by this South African giraffe. Jarring in person. Imagine for the guy who spotted the exotic creature in the bed of a Ford pickup truck in Macomb County last week.
I mean, you've got to understand, outside of your world, you see a giraffe in the back of a truck, you're thinking, what
is going on? Yeah.
The post went viral, sparking a lot of concern for the creature, a ton of Toys R Us giraffe jokes, and whether it's even real.
Even people in the newsroom were saying, they're like, there's no way that's a real giraffe.
That's
so
real.
Clear it up. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it is real.
Now that we have cleared that up, just why?
I mean, really, I've probably mounted something from about every continent on Earth by now.
Darren Weiner is a taxidermist and big game hunter with Safari Partnerships in South Africa.
In Africa, any meat that is harvested is utilized. There is zero meat that is wasted.
Giraffe?
Yes, 100%.
The one in the Ford pickup died naturally at a zoo of old age, and Darren was commissioned to get him mounted to live on at an unnamed museum.
Some people may find it, strange or different or whatever. To me, it's art.
60 hours into this piece, he was in transit when he stirred up social.
When we receive it, it's no different than leather. It's just leather with hair on it.
Not all of the animals here on Darren's farm in Ira, Michigan are on the wall.
Good morning, Prince Charming.
This is a 9-month-old kangaroo. His name's Atlas.
I don't think I've ever met somebody that looked at one of our baby kangaroos and didn't immediately have a smile.
It's all puzzling. A big game hunter who carries around a kangaroo like a baby. He even promotes so-called green hunts where you use a tranquilizer dart, not a bullet, like this replica white rhino. And now you know.
We love animals. I mean, I know it's a counterintuitive argument and a lot of people don't understand, but I promise you, we love animals.
I guess one of the many morals of this story, if you see an exotic animal in the back of a truck, chances are it tracks right back here. Reporting in Ira, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
All right, Jessica answering some questions for us
Now
on
you
The
know.
Edge. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, President Trump's threat of tariffs set to become a reality.
We're just hours away now. 25% tariffs against Canada and Mexico will go into effect Tuesday.
No room left for Mexico or for Canada. No, the tariffs, they're all set. They go into effect tomorrow.
Reaction has been mixed. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has said a 25% tariff would wreak havoc on Michigan's economy. The move is expected to drive up prices for customers, including on things like cars. Dealerships that we spoke with say tariffs will likely touch every part of the economy.
Fear would be that we would see higher prices as a result, not necessarily because vehicles are being produced in Canada, but because a lot of the components, like aluminum, steel, are coming from there.
President Trump has said the tariffs are to force Canada and Mexico to step up their fight against illegal immigration and fentanyl. He also hopes to push more factories to relocate to the United States.
Meanwhile, major implications in the war between Russia and Ukraine. President Trump has paused U.S. aid to Ukraine after a contentious meeting at the White House with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. President Trump has pressured Zelensky to engage in peace talks with Russia as he pushes for a quick end to the war. Democrats have criticized Mr. Trump's move to pause aid, calling it dangerous.
Well, it's going to be a long 2 years for drivers who use 696.
The eastbound lanes are now closed from Lasser to I-75. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin has a closer look at the impact.
Man, it took, I would say, a little bit over about 45 minutes to an hour to where I was going.
That's how long it took William Cheeks to get to work at Stellantis and Warren on the first weekday of that massive eastbound-only 696 closure from the Lodge to I-75, including all on and off ramps. A project set to be in place for
2 years. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't know.
Yep, 2 whole years.
So how often would it usually take you? Well, I will say half hour. Okay. 25 minutes if the construction, the traffic isn't bad.
The official detour is to take the Lodge to the Davison to I-75, then back to 696. We decided to give it a go and time our journey during the Monday afternoon rush. Of course, we'll give you the old fast forward action, but in looking at my stopwatch, I saw it took over 25 minutes to get back onto eastbound 696. Consider that a possible add-on to however long your drive usually takes, depending on where you're headed.
Yes, irritating. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Keisha Cold has some strategizing to do now, considering her commute as the final phase of the Restore the Ruther project takes place. And 2 years from now, 696 will have a major update between I-75 and DeQuinder. We're talking a roadway rebuild along with work on bridges and drainage.
I live all the way in St. Clair Shores, and it's like I'm going to have to take 8 miles all the way down. It's just too long to get there. Like, what are we going to do now?
As for William, he's got some form of a plan already in place.
Oh, man, well, you thank MapQuest for that. They plug it into the GPS, and, it's just like I said, it just depends on what time of the day it is.
Part of this project will involve upgrading 60 bridges, and next year they'll be taking on the westbound side of 696. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
After a bit of another cold snap, it will get warmer, we're told.
I mean, that front has to come through. This is the meteorologist in me, which there's nothing of a meteorologist in me. The fronts come through, you get the winds of change, and things
Derek's
happen.
here now to take over.
There's green, and there's blue.
The front comes through, yes.
There's pink, and there's white, all kinds of colors.
All right. He's not wrong, actually. That's the funny part. Okay, so outside right now, SkyTracker still showing some winter precipitation. Up there in northern Macomb County and St. Clair County, dealing mostly with sleet. So ice pellets kind of falling from the sky in a lot of these different spots. In fact, for most of St. Clair County at this point, extending through Port Huron, the city of St. Clair and farther south. A lot of us are starting to see some warmer air come in. Now, this is expected to happen as we move overnight. We're going to see some milder air start to filter in from the south. That's going to change over any winter precip into some rain, which is what we will deal with as we move through Tuesday. And that's going to start early in the day on Tuesday. So some soggy periods there. Heavier rain expected on Wednesday, maybe a chance for some thunder. And then potentially seeing a switchover, likely, in fact, seeing a switchover into some snowflakes late Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning. Here's a bit of a question mark. Will some of that cold air linger enough early tomorrow morning? That pink color would be another round of some sleet, maybe even some freezing rain. We'll keep an eye on that. All indications are at this point, though, that it's probably just going to be regular raindrops. We'll see a break through the afternoon. More rain, and the heaviest rain expected Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Then some rounds of rain, and there's the chance in the afternoon for a thunderstorm. We could see a little bit of a rumble of thunder there. No severe weather expected. And then you see that changeover as some colder air comes in. So first, how much rain are we going to see? Models are indicating over 2 days, probably 3/4 of an inch. So that's a bit of water. You got to remember this time of the year, the water doesn't really soak into the ground all that well. So we might see some ponding in the backyards and front yards. And then following all of that, some snowflakes then Wednesday night into Thursday. It's very minimal to the tune of around 1/4 of an inch. So that's what those early flakes are, about 1/4, maybe as high as 1/2 an inch, but not expected to really stick or accumulate. Friday, we'll see another chance of what could be some mixed precip, and then a drier and chilly weekend. Guys, over to you.
Thanks so much, Derek. Well, a man walks into an Ypsilanti juice store catching a robber in the act.
The two wrestling to the ground while workers watch. Fox 2's Dave Spencer talks to the man who came to the rescue.
A man in a gray hoodie and a mask goes into a Vara Juice in Ypsilanti, lays a gun on the counter, and demands money. The woman working behind the counter says before that man walked through the door, though, she had called the owner of the business next door.
The girls from Vara Juice called me. She was like, come. I usually go there and help them whenever they need help. Sure. So this time I walked into something I did not know what was going on.
As cash is being pulled from the drawer, Ali Hadma walks in.
Hey, put it back. And the closer that I got to him, I seen a gun. And I grabbed the gun, and me and him were wrestling.
Ali says he was simply acting on instinct.
Whatever I have to do, save my life and the girl's life.
Eventually, the gun is wrestled away, and the robber is taken to the ground. With the threat eliminated and the cash left behind, the robber goes free. The gun, as it turns out, was fake. But in the moment, Ali says it felt very real.
It was just, get the gun. That was it.
The video was shared on social media, and being a businessman, Ali cashed in on his catchphrase, "Put it back."
Oh, I have merch going on everywhere I go. It's like, hey, you're a hero. And it feels good. Sure. It really feels good.
Now on the video, you do see the suspect run right through the front door of Vara Juice and seemingly escape, but we have confirmed through the courts that the suspect was caught and has now been charged with armed robbery. In Ypsilanti, Dave Spencer on The Edge.